This is McCook's Mr. Bill. It's an honor to have you here. Living next to a trailer court for 52 years, I've seen some bad things that happened over there. Very few good things can I ever report that I've seen until this last week. This last week, I saw a man up on the deck of a trailer, and below, sitting on the ground, chairs, folding chairs, if you will, about 30 people. Now, the wind was blowing 30 miles an hour. It was a hot, miserable day. So why were they there, and why was that man up there with a microphone? Well, he was preaching the Word of God. I've never seen that in that trailer court before. He was preaching the Word of God. Wow. In Spanish, and they were listening and putting up with the weather to hear his Word and hear the Word of God, if you will. Be that as it may, that don't happen much in McCook, to say the least, ever, let alone in a trailer court that's seen its better day. But we also had this week a gentleman known for quite a while, and he's worked with horses most of his life, herding and working cattle for pasture and in a feedlot that he owns. And yet, he ran into the time, and he decided to start going with the small four-wheel, four-door doodle bugs, we've called them, all sorts of things. The gators is another term they utilize. And he has picked up about 4 of them, and to replace the horse to the most degree. There's still canyons you need to run some horses, but for the most part he could use those gators an awful lot quicker than he could a pickup, in his opinion, and better than a horse. But in that same time period of about 2 years, he's had his son roll a gator, and then he rolled a gator, and then he had a pickup hit his gator with him in it, bust him up and send him to the hospital. And of course, then they had 2 hired hands that hit a telephone pole with a gator. And they ended up, one of them anyway, in Denver. I'm not sure if it was flight to life, but it was to Denver. And so they've had their share of problems. And asking what's going on, and his comment was, he said, we just don't utilize seatbelts like we should. Since it's not a real street legal vehicle, we just simply run it and jump in and jump out there at the farm and run around the farm. He said, we just don't utilize that seatbelt like we should, and we get a little anxious, a little hot rod in us, if you will, and we just don't think ahead that there could be some danger if you bend or break with the rules of driving. So those are 2 events that's happened in the McCook area. You guys be safe and have a good day.